That's okay. You're fine.
I just realized that.
You're fine. To form relationships, have discussions. You know, sometimes topics come up with merchants where it would just be better if they could speak to one another. And so this is kind of the beginning of that. Plus, we have a lot of things going on, and not everybody reads their email. I'm guilty of that on occasion as well. So we just wanted to have an opportunity for us to communicate clearly, get questions answered, and also to begin to form closer relationships with our city. We have a lot of people that work with the city. We have a lot of people in various departments. And as I've shared many times, if you're not someone that works with a municipality on a regular basis, sometimes it can be overwhelming. You know, you're not sure who to go, how to ask, who are these people and what do they do? So one of the things that we're going to start doing is inviting one of our department managers from the city, from the various departments, to come each month and share some things with us, talk a little bit about what they do, anything that they have going on, and offer you the opportunity to ask them questions. So we really want you to think of being downtown as being in a very special community. And so this is part of that. So we'll see how Monday mornings go. Hopefully we'll be able to go fully in person, but we'll see how that plays out. I don't want to cut off opportunities for people to participate. So let's just give it a go. So it'll be a little messy at first, but I would like to start by everyone having a chance to at least introduce themselves. I know not everyone knows everyone, and not everyone is comfortable with networking, plus when you're here and when you're joining us virtually. So I'm actually going to start with our virtual participants. And I know I'm going to say Shakori, is that right? Is that Shakori?
Yes.
Is that how you say your name? Wonderful. So go ahead and
Yes. Hello. Good morning, everyone. My name is Shakori Conley, and I'm the owner of River City Tax Solutions. I'm actually located in the First Citizen Bank building on Main Street. I'm relatively new here, kind of been a little bit under the radar. I didn't do a ribbon cutting, but I did reach out to the association. I was interested, wanted to kind of be involved because my office is here and I live downtown as well. My office is basically, I offer full cycle bookkeeping, tax resolution, work with individuals and small businesses with a various number of accounting services. So if anyone ever needs any help or have any questions regarding to anything in that area, feel free to reach out to me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here and being in the district and being with us this morning. Let me go on to Laura. Lauren, go ahead and unmute yourself and introduce yourself to our group.
Hey y'all, I'm Lauren. I know a lot of you guys, but for the ones that I don't, I'm at Blush and Bashful Waxing Spa. Also in the First Citizens Bank building. Shakori is my upstairs neighbor. But so we got a lot going on in our building. But just, hey y'all, good to see you guys again, and I'm interested in hearing what else is going on downtown. We're growing, y'all are growing. It's all good.
Wonderful. We're all growing together. And Lauren with Blush and Bashful, she used to be over on Lynn Street, and now she is in the First Citizens Bank building where Shakori is. And you may remember she was one of our Dream Launch entrepreneurship participants and grantees. So growing. Keep on growing.
It's going really well.
So Austin, we're introducing everybody and we're starting online. So if you're up, if you'd introduce yourself, you probably know most of these folks.
I'm so glad that you told me what we were doing, because I was worried you were going to call on me and I was going to be really lost. So I apologize that I'm running a little late. I'm Austin Bunn with Ballad Brewing. The exciting stuff we have right now is more cans. We just released some new ones last week, and we've got another release in about 2 weeks or so, and then another one about 2 weeks after that. So things are going good. We also just hired a guy who is going to be doing some production work for us, but also we hired him as a staff photographer. So we're about to have really good pictures that aren't from my cell phone. So I am incredibly excited about that.
Wow, I'm so impressed. I think the pictures are great already, so I can't wait to see the new ones. That's exciting. Thank you for being here, Austin. We appreciate it. Kelly with Nonprofit Network, who's joining us from the beach. Kelly, do you want to go ahead and unmute and introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Kelly Watt, and I am the Membership and Outreach Coordinator for the Dan River Nonprofit Network. And while not technically in the River District, we're close enough, and we love the work that the River District Association does and all of the merchants and other businesses in the River District. So we're here to show our support, and I am here from the lake. It's wonderful to be here from vacation.
Lake, not beach.
It's close enough. We have a beach here at our dock, so it worked out. So thanks.
Perfect. Thank you for taking time out of your vacation. All right, Shawnee, you are up. If you can hear me, go ahead and unmute and introduce yourself. Tell us what you do, where you're at.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Shawnee Gaylord, the Director of Community Programs at PATH. Sorry, we're juggling a lot of things this morning, all good stuff. And just, I guess everybody's doing the introductions. PATH is a federally qualified health center here in the area. We do medical, dental, behavioral health, everything, and starting a mobile unit. So we're planning right now to do vaccinations, not just COVID vaccinations for youth, but also like the other school ones will be in the counties and the cities. And we're actually building a health center at GW. So we're rocking and rolling and excited to learn today about everything going on. So we just thank you all. Oh, I'll just add in this one plug real quick. At the end of this month, there's a back to school giveaway on Worship Street, where over 500 book bags and free stuff and bounce houses, and we'll be doing vaccines for ages 12 plus there, the Pfizer. So feel free to come on by if you need to get vaccinated, or if you want to just get some free stuff for school, and share with other people you know, because we're all about, my favorite hashtag is like better together. So thank you guys so much for all you do.
Thank you, Shawnee. And Shawnee's actually a new board member with River District Association as well. So PATH, if you didn't catch that, because she covers everything so succinctly but quickly. So if you need any more information, Shawnee would be happy to chat with you up there at PATH. So thank you for being here this morning. All right, let's go around the table. Josh, let's start with you.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Josh Lucia with Lucia Video. You might also know me from Smokestack Theater Company, nonprofit. Again, we're in the same building with Kelly, so outside of the River District technically, but obviously still connected. And Lucia Video will be producing the Home for the Holidays video event again this year. So
yep, more about that to come.
That's right.
Yeah, so Bill?
Morning, everybody. Bill Skrinia. I'm a Director of Parks and Recreation for the city.
Thank you for being here. Peanut?
George Purdue, otherwise known as Peanut, and I'm the owner of Revitalization Station, Natural Health and Wellness Store on Craghead. Just continuing to build our product line and add new services.
Yes, and he is also a wonderful alternative health practitioner, so definitely worth stopping by, and some great kombucha on tap. Yeah, absolutely.
I am Jessica South, and I'm Blue Moon Tattoo and Body Piercing on Bridge Street. Haven't been downtown long, but we really love it. We've had a lot of people come down who weren't really familiar with this area, and we really like it. We're looking forward to doing lots of fun stuff and continuing to be successful and getting to know everybody.
Well, we are glad that you are downtown and glad that you're having a good experience. So how long has it been now since we did your ribbon cutting? End of April. Okay, very good. Still getting adjusted to your new home, so to speak.
Well, we felt like we've been at home since we got there. So.
Oh, perfect. Oh, that feels so good. That's so good to hear. Michael, tell us about you.
I'm Michael Duncan. I'm here as the representative for the Small Business Development Center, here to help businesses grow or get started. I am a serial entrepreneur. I've been in the community about 20 years. Still have business interests in Danville and around Southern Virginia. So continue to try to help out as well as make money. So.
And if you weren't familiar, actually, Longwood Small Business Development Center actually has an office right there now. And so for those of you that know people that are looking to start up a new business or a second business, or this is also for existing businesses. So all of you guys who are downtown and thinking about a new product line or a new service, or how to become a little bit more lean in your operations, things like that, you can certainly meet with SBDC, and much of their services are at no cost to you, thankfully. And so don't forget that.
Well, you do pay for it with your tax dollars, but yes.
Yeah, it's already paid for. Let's put it that way.
But you paid for it.
Yes. So yeah, you just make an appointment with these guys and they'll sit down and talk with you about any aspect of your business that you're interested in. So really, really glad to have you here. Thank you.
Honor to be here.
Thank you. Cheryl, you're up.
Hey, my name is Cheryl Sutherland. I'm Main Street Art Collective on Main Street. I tell everybody 2 doors up from Delano's Pizza because everybody knows where Delano's is. So I'm excited. Peanut and I opened at the same time. So we're getting ready to have our 3rd year anniversary, which is so exciting because so many people say a lot of small businesses failed in the first 3 years and we made it through COVID. So,
You got through COVID, you're doing good.
and I know he too, give God all the credit in that because we just have been very blessed by our faithful customers and continue to get new people. And for those of you that don't know, I do a lot of classes in my back room too. So we pretty much do a different class, at least 1 class a week. Through the summer, we've been doing kids classes. So that's a good way to get new people in. And for those of y'all that don't know, I want to encourage you that even though I have such a great following of recurring customers, you would not believe how many new customers I have in a day. Any given day, I have more new people than I have recurring people.
Wow.
So that is a huge thing for people to know. We have people coming from Greensboro to shop downtown Danville.
Yeah.
To me, that just blows my mind. I mean, we all used to go to Greensboro or Lynchburg, and now Greensboro is coming to Danville. I had the highest compliment, I think, Saturday. It was a group of 3 people who came from Greensboro, and they said they need more shops. Yes, they were in my shop, so they said like mine, but they needed more shops like downtown Danville is in Greensboro. So for them to say that, we're all doing something right. So that's to share the kudos with everybody. So I'm very excited to be here, as you can tell. Share that excitement with everybody. I just love that there's so much to do. I send people to ballot all the time to go to trivia and bingo. And, I sent a customer Saturday to Peanut. So it's just great that we're all working together. And if you don't get out often and see what's new downtown, if you get stuck on Craighead, come over to Maine. Or if you're on Maine, go to Craighead, find out what's new so that when we have customers, we can say, oh yeah, you want a tattoo? We didn't used to have a place. Well, now we got a tattoo place, so we can all send each other. So anyways, I'll shut up.
No, that's wonderful. And that's actually one of the reasons that we gave you guys those tearaway maps that we did too. Yes, for parking, that's part of it. But it's also so you can say, oh, you need to go see Peanut, or you need to go see Lauren or Austin or any of our great folks. And you can actually draw it on the map and draw the way over there and rip it off and give it to them. So part of that too is to help you be able to connect with people with other businesses, because the more businesses that they're connected to, the more they'll come down and the more they'll get connected to more of you. So it's really, really important. And I got to give a shout out to the classes, because not everyone feels comfortable socially trying to make new friends. As adults, sometimes for some of us, Diana, that can be a little bit harder. And so things like classes give you that opportunity to make social connections that sometimes as adults, we don't necessarily always get to make, especially in COVID times. So highly encouraged. So Kelvin, you're up next.
I'm Kelvin Perry. I'm project manager for the Office of Economic Development. Also, I serve on the board here at RDA, and this is my first year as president of the board. So happy to be a part of this. And as Cheryl said, about 3 weeks ago, I was coming from Lynx, and this couple stopped and said, we just dropped into Danville, and where's there to eat, and what do you do? I said, oh my God. So I pulled out my district app and gave them the rundown. They said, you must work for the city. I said, I do. But it was good to know that someone was in town. They were looking for things to do, and I started doing the laundry list. So people are visiting our community as well, and our downtown.
Yes, I love that. And I think I would love it if we all thought a little bit like that we all work for our city, not who pays our paycheck or, where we spend our day every day, but we're all working for the betterment of each other and for each other. Because I'm going to get a little, new agey on you. What you get out comes back to you. So the better an experience a person can have when they come down the more likely they're going to spread the word and continue to do that. So last but not least, I want Kirsten to introduce herself. Most of you probably actually see and talk to Kirsten these days more than you do me. And I am very, very missing everyone, but very, very grateful to have someone that I can depend on that is so knowledgeable. So hit it. Introduce
Hi,
yourself.
everyone. I'm Kirsten. You've probably seen me on emails if you haven't seen me in person. I'm the communications and events manager here at RDA. And you'll be hearing from me more, so I'm going to just leave it at that. I'll be talking later on once we get going. So welcome. It's good to see some of your faces that I haven't seen before, and really happy.
Excellent, thank you. So we're gonna start off really, really quick, but really, really important for any news that anyone wants to share as far as merchants, updates, celebrations, or any discussions that you want to have. And I'll go ahead and kick it off with one subject. And Cheryl, I'm gonna put you right on the spot, right up front. You had sent me an email to talk a little bit about your hours changing. You want to go ahead and bring that up?
When I first opened, I was open Monday through Saturday and quickly found that there just wasn't anything going on Mondays. It wasn't worth my while. Lizzie Lou and Vintages, they're not here today, but they're closed on Monday. So I decided to start closing on Monday. And that's worked for me personally, but over the last specifically 3 to 6 months, I'm getting feedback from the community that why is my block closed on Mondays? That people really need to be open, and that they've come to me, even though my hours are posted on Facebook, and people don't do that. They go where they want to go. So I am strongly encouraging us to all be open on Monday through Saturday, even to just test it. I haven't started it yet. I'm still praying about whether I'm going to start in August or September, but definitely by September I will. Because we have people coming, and they're not just coming on Saturdays. I mean, I am not to toot my own horn, but just to show you, last Tuesdays has always been my slow day. Last Tuesday, I did $1,000 on a Tuesday. And that was a normal Saturday. I'm just saying that to give you all feedback that there are people out, the same people. There's a lot of retirees. There's a lot of young people. People have weird schedules. It's not just one set of people who are coming during the week. So I do think it would be very helpful that if we all, we all might have to try it. And it may be a soft thing. Like I may do a couple of Mondays in August to just kind of test out the waters, but especially for Christmas coming up September, I know I'm going to do it at least starting in September. If it doesn't pan out over the winter, I'll take that in consideration after Christmas. But it really irritates people when they come downtown and they can shop one block Tuesday through Friday and another block, and then I'm personally going to talk to a couple of people that I know that have different hours on Saturdays and encourage them to be open all day, because it really does hurt business when I have to look at my watch and say, oh, well, you can't go over there because they close at 2, where, people want to shop the whole street. They don't. So anyways, that's my thing about that.
No, I appreciate you bringing it up. And it's interesting because typically around the holidays, the conversation comes up again, but we're already way into the holiday season, so people haven't had a chance to plan for it. I know for some of our merchants, part of the trouble is they're the one who works their store every single day, and not having, only having Sundays off can be challenging. The other thing that I hear on occasion, plus it's chicken or egg. If I change my hours, no one knows in the beginning, so I don't get customers. But if you don't give that a little bit of time for them to learn your new schedule, it is slow in the beginning, I think.
Well, not necessarily, because I'll go back to the employee thing. And I needed 2 days off, which is why I closed on Sunday and Monday. But if I'm going to have a good day, it's worth my while to pay somebody to come work on Monday, which is what I'm going to do, because I can't kill myself and work 6 days. So I am going to invest and consider it an investment. I found somebody that is a good match, and I asked them, can you be my Monday person? Yeah. So she's going to be my Monday person. And if she can't work Monday, we'll switch that. But consider it as an investment. And also social media, Facebook can be a pain in the butt, I know, but social media is the way of the world. So when we start blasting that we're open on Mondays, and you put a sign on your door that gets attention that says now open on Mondays, or going to start being open on Mondays in September, that's going to spread and it is going to cause excitement. And the more we talk and say, we're going to start being open on Mondays.
Yes. And we'll
It does
promote,
spread.
we'll promote, you know, promote.
Let me throw out a couple of demographic pieces. The Monday close thing is pretty typical, especially in the restaurant business. And so that tends to permeate. But the SBDC, and I'm going to go back, I'm going to start pulling traffic data by day for what goes on up and down through the River District. But if you decide to change your hours, can keep some data for me and funnel that back, we can begin to compile it and look at it aggressively. It is an investment to be open on Monday. If you are going to do it, load social media. I just came off the board of the Danville Science Center after 100 years. And I will tell you that 3 years ago, I was in and I was talking to people about how they got their information, and nobody mentioned any of the print media. Everyone mentioned the Facebook and the social media connections. And I'm standing there as the old guy in the room and going, wow, it's completely changed. So the social media aspect, if you're going to make a change like that, make sure you get as broad a coverage as you can.
Yeah.
Because you want the investment to pay off.
Well, and I know there's been discussion too about some of our businesses close at 6, which only leaves less than an hour for people who only get off at 5 to come and visit some of our businesses. And so that could be part of the conversation too. But what's your experience been?
I tried it last year, I guess it was. I was open on Mondays, partially because my goddaughter was in from college, didn't have a job, needed a little extra money, and she had worked for me before. And I just didn't see the return on investment. I don't know if it was that maybe her and my part-timer, I had 2 people there a lot of times because I didn't like having them by themselves. But it may have just been the wrong people, that they couldn't answer the questions. Now I think Cheryl took advantage of it because it's the only time she could shop. You know, unfortunately, for a lot of us, we can't get to each other because we're doing what we need to do. But the other thing I have done is I can print sales reports, and I looked at my historical sales because I've tried, 10 to 6. I've tried, now I'm at 9 to 5 because it tended to be that I was not doing any business from 5 to 6. And I absolutely thought, okay, people are going to get off work at 5 o'clock downtown and be running in the store, but that's not what happened. So, I am grateful my point of sale gives me some historical data to see what has worked, what hadn't worked. I thought about opening earlier in case people wanted to come by before work, but every time you make these shifts, there is that learning curve for your clients and people who are used to shopping at this specific time. When you shift this way, it upsets the ones who were coming here. So it is challenging, but especially going into the holidays, it's definitely something, to consider, or maybe, like for me, maybe expand my Saturday hours, because we were dead after, we cut our hours back. We started opening at 8 o'clock in the morning because of the market and closing at 3, whereas we were, 8 to 5 on Saturday as well, but it was just dead after, after 3 o'clock. But everything's subject to change. With the pandemic last year, things like the holiday market that brought a tremendous amount of people to this area didn't happen. But this year it might be an entirely different ball game. So I think, as Cheryl kind of alluded to, just trying to be flexible in what we're doing as a business or as a group of businesses and how it impacts each other. Because just trying to get something to eat down here on a Monday can be tough.
Right.
And we've got, restaurants moving and stuff like that. So that's added to it. But a lot of times people come to this area, part of town, to get something to eat and then just travel around. And, because I wanted to open on Mondays to begin with. Because I thought about hairstylists, people in the restaurant industry, or people like ourselves that own a small business who are also closed on Mondays. But I just didn't see the support.
Well, let's definitely then continue the conversation. Jessica, I don't know what your hours are right now, and I know you're a service industry, and so the folks that you serve, I don't know what your hours are right now, what works for them.
We're 12 to 7 Tuesday through Saturday. And honestly, I could work 7 days a week, but I'm just not. I don't want my people to get burnt out and not enjoy their job.
Yeah.
You can't cut corners with what we do. You can't get bored. And I could work twice the amount of hours every day, but I don't want like I said, I don't want my people to get burnt out, and not enjoy their job. I'm not willing to overwork them and have them not be happy. And if I could find other talented people to work those days, that would be fine, but that's really hard to come by with what we do.
Understand. That makes sense. And it will somewhat go by industry, I think, too.
I think it's hard to refer back to, I agree with you, but it's hard to refer to historical data when we had a whole year and a half that we can't even count. I mean, historically, we just can't count because we had to do so many different things. And then businesses growing so much, we have so many new businesses, we've created a new, so it's hard. Like, I even have a hard time going back and comparing it to 3 months ago because
Right, things change so
it's
much.
just different.
Yeah.
So I just encourage us all, and I'm not, I mean, so, we all have to do what we have to do, but I'm just trying to encourage to like, give it a new shot. Maybe now Mondays and,
I mean, I always get mad when people take off the same day I do, because I'm like a nerd.
I think the only thing I would ask is from a community perspective, if you're willing to share the data, traffic data. I don't, but just the traffic data by day, by, morning at, something like that, so we can begin to compile, because today is very different than what it was a year ago, much less 3 years ago.
Right.
I mean, 3 years ago, downtown was dead.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. It was dead. And now I can walk and even go hunt for it to find a meal on Monday. So I just think as we create this new normal, the more information, baseline information we can share with one another, the better we can make informed decisions as business people.
It is great to be able to drive down Craighead on a Thursday afternoon and see so many people walking. I mean, it's unbelievable. So let's go to our virtual folks. We didn't forget about you, Austin. I can't remember which day you guys are closed or days. My apologies. Tell us a little bit about your business cycle.
Yeah, sure. So we're open 7 days a week. Way back when we first opened, we were closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, but we quickly realized that there is a need. And I mean, certainly Mondays from our perspective are actually probably one of our slower days. Tuesday is definitely the slowest. But another day I think that gets overlooked that we certainly did. And I think post-pandemic, it's become a good one for us is Sundays. Our Sunday sales are probably doubled since the pandemic ended, compared to pre-pandemic too. So yes, and we're open Monday through Thursday from 4 to 9, Saturdays 12 to 10, or I'm sorry, Fridays 4 to 10, Saturdays 12 to 10, Sundays 12 to 8. And that works pretty good for us. I mean, we've thought about opening a little earlier during the week. We used to open at 3, we bumped it to 4. And Fridays we used to open at noon because we saw a lot of travelers in the afternoon. But we're still, I think like everybody else, we're still kind of getting back into the groove post-pandemic with our staff and similar to I think it was Jessica was talking, we're trying to not burn out our people too. So once we get some more help and get settled back in, I think we may look at adjusting hours again.
Okay. And then Lauren, let's talk. I know you're another service industry. I can't remember. I know you keep expanding and expanding. So remind me what your hours are.
Mondays are really, really, really good for us. We do serve a lot of other professionals that are closed on Mondays. So that's kind of what we get on Mondays. For us, our experimental day right now is actually Saturdays. We've been closed for over a year on Saturdays, and so this summer we're experimenting with it again. We'll see where it goes. So.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for sharing it. And Shakori, I don't want to make assumptions, but I know with your type of industry, are you typical office hours like 8 to 5, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday? Tell us about your model.
Well, I'm typically 8 to 5. I do work half days on Fridays. Now, because some of my services are seasonal, such as in the when tax season, I do have extended hours, and I would not dare share those. There is a little bit crazy towards that April 15th day, but I am typically 8 to 5.
Okay, thank you. And then Shawnee and Kelly, not that we don't care, but I know with your industries, it's a little bit different with medical and then nonprofit organizational. So I'm going to skip over that for now. If you'll bear with me, we're mostly concentrating on the retail, restaurant, personal service end right now. So I think maybe this would be a good opportunity for us to send out some surveys and maybe talk about it a little bit. We could actually set up a separate Zoom or something like that to have a more in-depth conversation about how to capture data. And what we could do is for those that want to try some different hours, if there's some coordination, RDA can do some very specific advertising to help get that out. Maybe we do a test or something like that, just depending. And it wouldn't have to be mandatory for everybody because it's your business. We're not going to tell you what to do, but for those that want to give it a try, maybe we can put some extra advertising towards it or something like that. So Cheryl, I'm really glad you brought it up. There's a few people that aren't here today that traditionally bring it up every year. Can we coordinate something during the holidays to be open later on Saturdays or something like that? And so certainly can continue. Kelvin, did you have a remark about that?
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I was just agreeing.
Okay.
I had one other thing on.
Yes, sir, please.
My experience, I think that it may be a little different than what Cheryl's going to experience because kind of other than the Science Center, I'm the last kid on the block on Craghead.
Yeah, you're there with Valley, yeah.
Can't see a sign.
Yeah.
There's nothing, past me. Hopefully when we get these other 88 units of people walking down there, we're going to see more foot traffic from that and hopefully more businesses beyond me. But right now I'm kind of the end of the line for retail and stuff. So, and next to us, Cottontails, most of their events are in the evening, so we don't see a lot from that either. So I think that does kind of make a little bit of difference in what we're going to experience versus probably what Cheryl and some other folks will.
Sure. And we're talking through some novel ways to try to increase. I know there's a gap on Crackhead, got businesses and restaurants, and then you've got a little bit of a gap. And then of course our strongholds on the end, but we are trying to investigate maybe some pop-up shops or some different ways to provide more connectivity, draw people further down into the district, because we realize that when there's that gap, even though it's not very far to walk, it's a little bit harder to draw people down. So we are trying to discuss some novel ways to get more people to enjoy the entire district. So more to come on that. I'm going to keep my update short and sweet. I'm loving this conversation, but I don't want to impede all the good information that's coming about the holidays. Just a couple of updates. RDA is hiring. We're going to be hiring 2 more people, so you'll be seeing some more faces. We're looking for a bookkeeper office manager who will be able to stay here most of the time, at least normal hours during the day, because with us popping in and out, I know sometimes you call and nobody answers the phone. I promise we're here for you, but it'll be nice to have a stable presence. And then programs and services manager. Basically, we'll do a lot of the things that I'm doing right now. I need assistance so I can go get more grants and bring us some more money in here, but they'll be taking on a lot of the responsibilities towards Dream Launch, which will be opening registration again in October. We're doing it again. We'll be having the same format with the classes and the pitch. As you know, we've got 3 businesses coming into the district from the last one. We've got the Dog-Eared Page Bookshop that's going to be opening where Lavender Group used to be, right up here on Main Street. She's looking for hopefully a mid-August opening, so we're all excited about that. And then we will have the Fashion House Studios, which is a photography studio. Kelly Cunningham, that's associated with her Fashion House brand. She'll be opening up. We're still looking for the right place for her. And then Tia Macklin with Ramp Nutrition. She's already got 1 location over on Piney Forest Road. And we're, again, trying to find the right location for her to have a secondary quick stop location here in the district. So that's where we're at with Dream Launch. Don't forget, we do have a facade improvement program, which will is a 1-1 match up to $5,000. If you need to repaint, some signage, various things that we can help you with regarding the outside appearance of your building, clean your awnings, new awnings in some cases if they've been torn or in disrepair. So don't forget we have that available. You just have to send an email, Diana@riverdistrictassociation.com, and say, what are you talking about? And with this facade thing, and I'll get you some more information. We have a new executive board, just really quick. Thank you again, Mr. Perry, for serving as president for the RDA board this year. Stephen Osborne is our vice president. Christy Harper is our secretary. Stuart Smith is our treasurer, and Billy Crumpton is our immediate pass. So thank you to them. 2 new board members this year. We have Dr. Andrew Hessler. He's a dentist here in Danville. He just joined our board along with Kunal Patel. He works with Daily Hotel Group. He lives here. He's working over in Greensboro right now as their CFO. So thank you to those guys for joining our board, making us stronger. And with that, we do have some exciting news that's coming up. It's a little premature to talk about it right now, but RDA is geographically going to be expanding a little bit and helping some more of the commercial business district areas around the River District. So you'll see us maybe moving towards North Main Hill a little bit, maybe towards Five Forks a little bit, maybe the historical buildings and school field a little bit, but we want to be able to take our services and provide additional capacity wherever possible to the city and just continue to lift all of our neighborhoods. You know, we're doing great work in the district. We're not done, not saying we're done, but I think it's time for us to be able to try to expand some of that work out to some of the other places. Lots of people are already doing that, of course, in the city, and lots of individuals, but it's our turn to help out now too. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Perry. There's a lot of development going on in the district, and I know people have questions about that. So Bill going to fill us in.
So 2 things I just want to add, in addition to the 3 businesses that Dinah announced, a 4th one, Temptations Gourmet will be going into the old shoe shine shop here on North Union Street. She specializes in salads and fruits and things like that. So we're working with her through the health department, making sure we meet all the codes associated with that as well. So
What's the name of that?
Temptations Gourmet. So we were here last week, I think, with the folk from the health department, making sure she has all the things in place to start her business. So again, additional foot traffic, bringing people in. It's primarily a takeout space as well. This is our renovated 20628 North Union Street. So if you know someone looking for commercial/retail space, please let me know. And there are a couple of other places throughout the River District that are available for lease. So please have them give me a call, and I'll be glad to work with them. Or if you've got a friend or an associate who's looking to start a business, give us a call. We have a strong relationship with SBDC ourselves. So we'll make sure that they get the assistance that they need. And the last thing, something we very, very seldom talk about in our office that I think is important now that we're starting to approach in the holiday season, is that we have a revolving loan program. You can borrow up to $25,000 at 4% on very generous terms. So if you need to increase inventory, or if you need to do a capital investment into your space or whatever, please give us a call. We have a detailed application, but we will work with you on that and certainly bring up to speed. But it's unused. We've had it for a while, and we probably only have, I'm embarrassed to even say it, we only have 2 loans outstanding in it right now, but it's something we need to do a better job in making available, because this is the time that you all will start thinking about the holiday season. And if you need to gear up your inventory or whatever, this could be a good way to borrow some funds. I know people don't like that word borrow, but it's a good way to meet a gap if you're trying to do that during that time period. So please let me know and I can forward you the application. I promise I won't take too much blood, but we would do that. But I want to make sure we do that.
As someone who used it many years ago with business number 7, I will tell you it was a very flexible tool. It was easy, paid it back. I actually paid it back a little bit early because things took off, but it was a godsend to get it, especially with that particular business. So I would encourage you to take advantage of it if you can, because it's cheap money.
Yeah, it really is cheap money. Yeah. And so, like I said, it's up to $25,000, low rate. We're probably a little different than a bank, so we're not going through a whole lot of things, but we want to make sure that it's a viable idea that you have, or a viable use that you plan with the funding, and it's flexible. So just let me know on that. So, And then I'm working on a couple of other things that may be a benefit for this group. What I hear a little bit is support, and Diana touched on a little bit as it relates to marketing. We can, want to make sure that you are taking advantage or that you are maximizing your ability to market your business through the social media platforms in a way that you're reaching people in such a way. So, my first thought is Ilsa Losa with SBDC can make sure that all your Google Analytics and all those things are in place. I know we did a workshop some time ago with that, but and there may be some support there to help you implement something that will help encourage that. So if we can get enough of the businesses in the district, we can maybe make an argument to maybe do some matching of some grant dollars for you to implement some marketing efforts to do that. So let's get the steam rolling.
Excellent. And we actually will have a program coming up for existing merchants for kind of like Dream Launch, but for existing downtown. It was called Bricks and Clicks, but we're going to be changing the name. But that will be an opportunity for us to come together and come up with some novel ideas specific to your business that may help you be able to expand or grow or reach some potential that you know is there. Maybe it's a plan you already have, but you need to finalize that plan, and there'll be some grant dollars associated with that. So for example, if someone knows that their floor plan does not flow quite the way they need it to, we can bring an expert in to help you figure out what does that floor plan need to look like. Maybe you need some new display items, things like that. There'll be a grant available for that. That would be one idea. Maybe your signage is not clear enough. Maybe your website is not quite up to speed, literally. Maybe it's too slow to load. There's a number of things that we're looking at to try to be able to be of assistance to you. So more information to come with that. And then Kelvin, there have been some questions. So any updates on the Lou's Antiques site? I don't know where we're at in
I'm
that.
glad you know what, when I got in this morning, I was thinking, what am I going to talk about? But yeah, so we've hired a company out of Lynchburg called Moore Architecture, who's doing some renderings for us as to what the possibility could be for that particular location. So no decision has been made as to what's going to happen with the building itself, but we want to know what that is. We'll hopefully, by the end of this month, I will have some conversation with him. We will have a community engagement period for people to look at those renderings, offer their thoughts and their ideas associated with that, and then they'll go back and kind of finalize that. And then once we know what it looks like or what that particular site could be, then we will put our RFQ to find a qualified developer to help us develop that. With all the things that are going on along the river coming up, that's a key location. So I hope everyone will participate and be a part of those discussions. The sky's the limit. We are not married into any particular idea at this point. We're open. We've gotten some thoughts from some people. So dream big. That's all I can say.
It's on the wall.
Yeah.
Think big, that's
Think
what we
big,
do
dream
here.
big. But so he's putting together some things that we have now in order to reimagine that particular site. And I think the last thing I would just say, it is time for us to revisit our River District Master Plan. And so probably sometime in the late part of the fourth quarter of this year, you'll be hearing from us a little bit about merchants as to what we need to do to continue to grow and enhance this particular quarter of the city itself. So a lot of great things that are happening. And so we're starting to work on that. And the last thing, I'll be quiet. Our office did put together, and I probably make sure I coordinate with Diana, a survey for all of our restaurateurs because we know that they were having problems. And so we just want to get a feel, but this is going to be citywide, just to get an understanding of how can we help them best. But I also would extend that to anyone who is not a restaurateur as to communicate with us as to how we can help you best through our particular office. So that's what we're working on, trying to be much friendlier. Even the trees, we're talking about that. We're talking about that. We're talking about the trees too, Joe. Don't worry. I said it. And I have forwarded on. So I listen to you all the time, Joe.
Yeah, keep those things coming. You know, it's never hurts anything to ask a question, raise a concern. You know, they're being talked about, trust me, behind the scenes. And sometimes we can address them quickly, sometimes not so quickly, but it doesn't keep the information coming. And we won't take time to talk about it today, but I'm sure there'll be, hopefully in the next month or two, we'll bring in our new tourism person to be able to introduce to you and get to know. So that's exciting as well. But without further ado, for those of you that don't know the Director of Parks and Rec, shame on you. I tease, that's not your fault. But he's a pleasure. Bill Skriniar, talk a little bit about whatever you want. Part of least Riverfront Park updates and Christmas parade and anything else you want to talk about.
Yeah, I can certainly go in a lot of different directions. But talk a little bit about some of the events coming up. We are starting out on the December the 3rd in conjunction with the tree lighting at the plaza, doing the Luminaria Walk, which brings a lot of people downtown. Again, that's from the crossing up to the plaza. It'll be all lit up. The parade this year is on the 4th, and it is a night parade. So it's going to start at 5 o'clock. You know, that always brings a crowd downtown. On the 8th, we have an event, not necessarily, it's not downtown, it's up at Blue, which isn't that far away, is Bark the Halls. That's where we open up the light show for people to bring their dogs through. And you can get your picture taken with your dogs can get his picture taken with Santa. And then the light show, which starts on the 9th and goes through the 23rd every night in Blue. It's a great place if you want to put a display in. There's no cost for it. We had over 12,000 people come through the show last year. So it's always a good crowd. And then finally, we always do Santa callings, and that's kind of for anybody who wants to have somebody called by Santa. We do that program as well. A little bit about the Riverfront Park. We are still fundraising for it, but the park is in engineering, meaning right now we're figuring out what the structures are going to look like, where the floodplain models are, what we can do and what we can't do. And we expect some of the preliminary work to start getting bid out late this fall, early winter. And that'll be some relocation of utilities off the site so that we can, as we get through the engineering and the floodplain study, begin the construction of the park. So we expect that to take about 12 to 18 months for the construction part of it. Then we will be looking at how we best program that on a regular basis. One of the things we've learned about downtown parks is they need to be activated. So you want to have people coming there all the time. And it's going to be should be our premier public space to our downtown. In addition with that, we're still working with the developers of the White Mill. We are working with them because there's the opportunity to put a whitewater channel in the existing channel that runs around that building. And we want the landscape architect to match between the park and the White Mill. So it all looks that we did it very purposefully. And then we have not started any engineering on this idea of a whitewater channel. But we expect if we do, we will probably start it this winter to start looking at how best it could work and the feasibility. And then in addition to that, we're also doing a little work on pedestrian connectors, how we move people from outside the river district into the river district by trail, by bicycle, and what are those opportunities to connect to some of the adjoining neighborhoods to promote that type of traffic. Two of the events I did forget, and I'm glad you mentioned them, is the holiday market and the holiday bazaar. They didn't happen last year. They will be happening this year. We have noticed that with the farmers market, we've had probably the busiest farmer's market season, ever, really. The opening day, the first day this year was bigger than any first day we have seen. We're just seeing a lot of traffic coming in there.
Do y'all have a date for the holiday market?
We do, but I don't know it.
Where's the best place to get that kind of information at, Bill?
We have playdanvilleva.com, and all of our programs, our updated program brochures are on there. We put out 6 brochures a year, so it's pretty constantly changing.
Excellent. And just to go back to the Christmas parade, because I know it definitely impacts everybody in the district. You said it'll be a night parade on Saturday, the 4th this year. Is that correct? And the theme is bright lights and holiday nights.
That's
Is
it.
that right? Very good. And if people, I don't know if Rotary's released information about that yet, where would they find information if they want to have a float or participate?
Again, that can be either through Play Danville VA. You can get a link to it there, or Riverview Rotary. They will have the applications as well.
Perfect. And I know that it's in a partnership with a lot of different folks, but there's other events that you're going to want to stay aware of. There's concert series is coming back. Bright Leaf Brewfest is on again this year. Tickets go on sale this week for that, I think.
Yeah, so we're going to try to do an early sale on the Brewfest tickets. That's November 13th is Brewfest. Again, that didn't happen last year, so we expect that to be a big event this year. It usually always sells out. And then the Cabin Fever concert series will begin around November and run through the winter. August 20th, there is a big show at the Carrington that was announced last week. So there will be a big event there.
Yes.
I don't know if it is the appropriate time or place, but something I mentioned it to Kelvin when we were standing outside my shop the other week, is I think it would be an amazing use of funds to put an electronic schedule board outside that community market for people who aren't as computer literate or don't know how to find a website on their cell phone. You know, we've got an aging community that takes advantage of a lot of that stuff, and just people that just don't do that stuff. Kind of like you see at a lot of the coliseums and stuff, where you could just go by and see a scrolling schedule of what's coming up in the next 5 or 6 weeks. Because to be honest, as a business owner right across the street, I hardly ever know what's getting ready to happen at that market, you know, to prepare for parking, for customer traffic or anything else. I just think it would, be, you know, a good resource.
Certainly worth talking about, I'm sure. You know, a lot of people like those Thursday events y'all are doing right now, the music at the market. Every time I go down there, it's packed.
Yeah, no, that's right. We're not, I focused on the holiday events, but there is the more movies coming up, the summer movie series, and there's a couple more dates for music coming up as well. But the average are about 350, 400 for the music, over 700 for the last movie.
Does any one of our Zoom participants have any questions for either Kelvin or for Bill? No? Okay, trust me, I'm not forgetting about you guys over here. Excellent. And there always is a lot going on with Parks and Rec. So it's Play Danville VA, is that right? Very good. And if you haven't had a chance to go down the Riverwalk, check it out. We've got an art installation in there just for a few more weeks for those that are not feeling it. So go see it while you can. Yes.
Is the route going to be the same as it always has been for the parade?
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great question. Thank you. And as part of that, I guess it's actually time to move on to talking about RDA holiday and events. And I'm going to mess up your program here for a minute and ask you to go ahead and actually start with Christmas on the Plaza, if you don't mind, since it's the day before the parade.
Yeah. So yes, Christmas on the Plaza this year is on December 3rd. I think in the past it's been usually on Saturday, but because of the night parade, we've shifted it to Friday, and it is at the same time as the Luminaria Walk. So it'll be from 5 to 9, with most of the festivities getting started around 6. And I think the Luminaria is 6 to 8, if I'm correct. And it goes between, or Christmas on the Plaza will be on the plaza. We'll be doing a tree lighting. We'll have Santa. We'll have hot chocolate, cookies. We have some fun photo opportunities, possibly some snow, some fun, just very festive feeling there. So if you come down here, you can walk between the plaza and the community market, enjoy the Luminaria walk. And we may possibly, we're still working out the details, have some fun horse and carriage rides between the market and the plaza if you want to take advantage of that instead of walking along the street. But we also encourage you to walk along the street because hopefully we will have lots of wonderful holiday window decorations. So there'll be a lot to see, a lot to take advantage of that day. One thing I would mention, since we've been having the holiday hours conversation, both the parade and Christmas on the Plaza Luminaria might be an interesting time to stay open a little bit later if you're a retail business, because there'll be a lot of traffic downtown. So you may be able to take advantage of that. So just putting that out there as a thought to consider as we move into planning for the holidays. I think that about covers Christmas on the Plaza.
Yep, we're really hoping to have snow and horse and carriage for you and continue to bless the event. So it'll be exciting to move forward. It gets bigger every year. So
yeah,
we're looking forward to it.
All right, so I think we'll jump back up to the beginning. I'm going to pass it over to Josh for a few minutes to talk about the Home for the Holidays production, which, if you remember, last year was our COVID Christmas on the Plaza video production celebration of community, and we're going to continue that this year. It's going to be a little bit different. And I'm going to let Josh explain what's going on.
Sure. So hopefully everybody caught that, or at least some of it. It's still available online if you want to check it out. Obviously, it was kind of a pilot program and figuring things out and seeing what works. And a big thing last year was just getting people to realize what it was. Because you tell somebody, they're like, okay, but what is it? And so a lot of the feedback was we got a lot of people felt it was too commercial driven. And so I think that's going to be a big transition this year, is to not make it as commercially, but more about you guys and about the River Districts and about things that are going on. And so it will not be one huge event. I think it was like 2.5 hours. We will do a different segment every Friday, starting on Black Friday. And each week we'll promote things going on. That Black Friday, we'll talk about Shop Small Saturday. And so instead of commercials, we'll do more of interview style type things, getting to know people. We'll have some prompt questions. What's your favorite holiday tradition? We may get into why you came to the River District, your history there, things like that. And that stuff still sells. We're selling you as a person. I always use Danville Toyota as a reference, but a lot of their commercials don't say come buy a car from Danville Toyota. They just have fun. And same thing. We want people to know you and get to know you and the real people. That's what makes small business so great, is not just what you offer, but you as a person. People come to see you. And so we're going to sell that a little bit. We will have hopefully still submissions from the public. Hopefully people will get it. Now we have some references. And again, we'll give them prompts. We found people were like, but what do I say? And it was like, well, you just say happy holidays, whatever. So we'll have some prompts again, same sort of things. It may be a Christmas joke. And again, this is Home for the Holidays. So we're also stretching out to the holiday feel, not just Christmas. So it'll be all about the holidays. So it will spill all the way into New Year's Eve. And hopefully we're going to have, that one may air with a countdown. We'll see. We're still working on all the details, but yeah, we'll flow right through. We'll have letters to Santa again, and Santa will be on there. I think that one airs on Christmas Eve. And so these will air live and people can watch them live, but then they can watch them the next day or whenever. And so it'll be promoting everything going on. So we'll be working on the website soon. We want to get details and everything, but we'll be in touch about who wants to be involved. And so it's kind of going to be up to you guys to reach out and say, I want to do it. And I'll make it easy as far as interviews go. I've been interviewing people for 15 years. So even the shyest person will make you look good, and it's going to be edited. So if you fumble along, but then this part's good, that's what we're going to use. No one will ever know you said this over here. So you can always reach me. Hopefully we're going to have videos at River District Association and some other emails set up. home@River District Association is one. If you specifically want to know about this program, you can email that, but you can always get in touch with me at josh@luciavideo.com too. So
if you don't know what we're talking about, you're forgiven. You know, it's something we scrambled last year to do very, very quickly because we wanted people to be able to have a chance to see one another. And that was the whole purpose of it, because we were all missing each other, seeing each other's faces, and we were apart. That was a big part of why we wanted to bring the community in. So you can go back and see the Home for the Holidays video for last year, but it's 2 hours long. And I'm biased because I'm in it, that I think it's absolutely fabulous. But we realized in talking, most people are not going to watch a 2-hour show. And so that's why we're cutting it up to, I think it's 6 weeks. You said we're doing 6 weeks, 15 to 20 minutes each. So yeah, new episode every week focusing on you. So we do still want community participation. We do still want you guys to give us ideas. We hope that now, as Josh said, that people can kind of wrap their minds around what it is, that we'll get more participation. But once we get the website up and get more printed materials up, we're going to need your help to spread it out. For sure. But thank you, Josh. You did an amazing job. I've heard so many people say it was just like watching, you know, CNBC, CBS, ABC, something you'd see on network television. So good job.
thanks.
Yeah, it's great. And we will, you'll be hearing from me soon with a lot of the details. We're trying to get rolling early so we can have all the stuff ready to go and have wonderful production for our community here.
Let me jump in. One of the things to be thinking about is, while we don't want to push what you have in your store, we want to push your events. So if you're doing a special class for the holidays, be thinking about those. The sooner you can get those on the calendar, the sooner we can say, all right, I need to go interview Cheryl about this class and that sort of thing.
So skipping around a bit is going off of what he just said. We are participating again with Parks and Recreation in December on the DAN, which is basically just marketing all the events going on downtown. So you'll also be hearing about that. You can submit your events, and so as soon as you know what's going on, you can let us know. We're going to compile all of that, and that will also feed into what you just said about promoting what you're doing in the Home for the Holidays production.
Yeah, that the last time we did that was about it was 2017. It was December of 2017. So it's been a long time, but we basically compiled every single solitary public event in one calendar, called it December on the Dan, to be able to show people that just about every day on the calendar, there's something to do in the River District. And so, you know, I'm sick of hearing people saying there was nothing to do.
Yeah.
And plus it helps to promote everybody again. You know, wow, I didn't know all that was going on. It'll go in the local newspaper and the gift guide and other assorted places. So if you're doing events, Austin, you're a great example. Any live music events you guys are doing, make sure you send them to us. We'll give you more information, but it'll be a November deadline, so we can get it printed.
All right. Yeah, we'll definitely be getting that out to you early, so you'll have plenty of time to plan it and know how to get that to us. So the other thing we have going on that we do every year is the window decorating contest.
Sean, make sure you guys are listening, because Pat always tries to win.
On board there. So this year, we're asking everybody to have their windows ready to go on November 26th, so that they're up and ready on Black Friday and Shop Small Saturday, so everybody can see the wonderful holiday downtown. And the voting for that will go through the 26th through, I believe, the midnight on the 2nd. And then we will be announcing the winners on at Christmas on the Plaza on the 3rd. It will also make it hopefully into the Home for the Holidays video. So be planning for that. We hope every single window in the River District is beautiful and decorated and everybody's voting like crazy. So start planning for that.
It was very competitive last year.
Yes.
We had over 500 votes, which was the most ever. Again, there's no theme because I know a lot of you guys, you invest a lot of money into your windows and can't necessarily afford to go spend another $3,000 to change all your windows. So we don't theme it. We leave it up to you. Again, we'll promote all the information for voting, and there are judges. There's public choice, people's choice, and that's where people vote online. But then we also have judges' choice, where we actually have a selection of judges that come confidentially and vote. And the winners of those each receive a $100 Visa gift card, so you can do whatever you want, but hopefully buy more decorations for next year.
Yeah. And we'll be sharing the voting link for that with you early on. It will go live that midnight on the 2nd. So feel free to share it far and wide once we have that organized. We are doing the holiday gift guide again this year. We're expanding it a little bit. So if you're a retail business or any business in the River District, we'll include your listing, but especially if you're a retail business, we'd love to put any promotions and photos you have. So we'll be asking for submissions for that. I'm going to need those by October 11th. Again, you'll be getting that information very early so you can plan for that. That will go out in the Sunday paper of the Register and Bee the Sunday before Shop Small Saturday, get everybody prepped to support our local businesses on that shopping day. Let's see what else is there. We'll have December on the Dan will be in there. There'll be other promotions in there, and we'll be advertising that and getting it out. Also, we'll probably be bringing all of the retail businesses copies of that so you can hand it out to your customers. Cross promote everybody, get everybody shopping everywhere downtown for the holiday season.
Yeah, and Cheryl shared with me last year that a lot of people came in on Black Friday, even though it's Shop Small Saturday. We don't care when they come to see you, quite frankly, but that's why we ask you to go ahead and have your windows decorated and be ready to go by Black Friday. Again, we push the Shop Small Saturday, but the voting will open up at that time to encourage people to get downtown. And that holiday gift guide, just to remind you, RDA pays for that publication for distribution of 25,000 in the area with the newspaper plus your own stores. And last year we expanded to 14 pages. 12 pages. Yeah, I think we're going another 4 this year, expand again. So it's a good opportunity to promote you.
And just one more thing about that, as I said, the deadline for those submissions of any promotions or photos you have are October 11th. We do need really high quality photos. So if you don't feel like you can provide that, just get in touch. We can make sure you get a good photo that represents your business and we can work through that. So I just wanted to quick mention that. We're here to help make it look great, make you look great. That's the goal. We quickly mentioned Shop Small Saturday. We'll be promoting that again this year through the gift guide, through social media. I'm not sure about the status. In the past, there have been materials that I've been able to bring to some of the retail businesses. They're changing things a little bit, so I'm not entirely sure how much of that I will have, but if we have that, that we will bring that by. Usually it's window clings, different promotional material that you can put up in your retail space. So more on that. That will be November 27th, so the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Let's see. Another quick thing to talk about is the Districts app. That's another great place. If you have promotions going on that you are submitting to the gift guide, you can also put them in there. Putting the promotions in bumps your business up to the top of the list. So it's a great way for when, if you're a service industry and you have some special going on, when you click on service, yours will be up at the top so people will see you first and can see what promotion you have. So that's a good thing to think about. If you have any issues doing that, feel free to get in touch with me. I can come by, get it set up with you, or just, walk you through it on the phone if there's any trouble there. So
yeah, and make sure you keep your listings up to date, because we're always doing stuff. We did that, ought to be in Danville, and then we partnered with the library for their tortoise turtle tour for families. And Now we've got the sculpture and art tour that's up permanently, and actually Fox News picked that up and did a story on that. So every time there's something like that that comes up, your businesses are in there too. So, you know, make sure you keep that updated. That's where people find parking. They do the walking tours. They find out information about you. So it's easy to slip out of our minds when we don't use that app as locals regularly. But if you have any trouble with it, let Kirsten know. That's right. Let Kirsten know. And also don't forget to use it when you travel to other places. You know, that district's app's not just Danville. It's any downtown that's using the app. So you can use it when you travel too. But
yeah, I think there's currently over 600
communities
and around, and you know, Raleigh, I think Raleigh and Greensboro have it, Roanoke has it, so it's good if you go somewhere, check it out, see what they've got.
Not as many in Virginia, but that's
I already talked about Christmas on the Plaza. I talked about December on the Den. You're doing good. So I think I'm going to pass it off to you for the sponsorship opportunity.
So in the past, you know, I think everybody here knows we try very hard to avoid asking anybody for money. You know, we try to do everything that we can to bring things to you. You know, we spend the money to bring things to you. That said, we have had people ask us, I would like to support your organization. Is there a way to do that? Well, in the past, I've said, yes, it's coming. Yes, it's coming. Well, it is coming. Again, it's not mandatory. If you're in the River District, if you're a business, then you're a River District partner, association partner. That's never going to change. We're not going to stop doing any of these things for you, but we do have people who have asked us how they can support. I think sometimes it's easy to get lost that we're actually a nonprofit organization. Our primary funder right now is Danville Regional Foundation with some support by the city as well. But, you know, they're not going to be able to fund us at the levels that they have been forever. That would be unfair and not a very good business model as a nonprofit. So we are going to start offering partnership opportunities, and basically, you know, what that means is you'll have opportunities to get free tickets for events, or you'll have the opportunity to be the presenting sponsor for an event. As part of that, you know, we've had businesses ask us in the past, how can I get a listing that's larger in the holiday gift guide, things like that. And so we are going to have opportunities where if you want to pay a little bit of extra money, then you will be able to have a larger listing, or you will be able to sponsor the gift guide, or you will be able to buy the back cover just like anybody else that does advertising. Right now, that publication costs us, you know, around $4,000 or $5,000 a year to put together, and we're doing it for free. And I'm glad that we can. However, at some point, we're going to have to start finding ways to recoup some of our funds so that we can keep doing these things. So we'll have that come out to you if you're interested. Again, I know that we're all still coming out of COVID as well. And I'm going to love you the same no matter what and give you everything I possibly can. But we also, any help that you could provide for us when it's able for you to do so is appreciated. As part of that, we are going to have sponsorship opportunities. We're going to have sponsorship opportunities for Christmas on the Plaza, for the Home for the Holidays televised production, for the holiday gift guide, and other events as we move forward. We're still finalizing what you will receive in return for that. Again, because we don't want to make it so that if you don't, we're not a membership organization, guys. We're never going to say you have to give us $100 if you want to be a member. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's not how 501c3 nonprofits work. And so we'll give you the opportunities. If you're interested in them, we'd love to work with you on that. And if you're not, we're still going to take your calls and do everything for you that we do today. Nothing is going to change with that. So we just wanted to let you know, I am not good at asking for money. I'm a bleeding heart and want to give it all away, but we are going to send it out to everyone. And even if it's not something that you can do right now, if you're not in a position to be able to help us out, I'm not going to be a bit mad if you go to your friends outside the district, because these advertising opportunities will also go outside the district for paid ads. So just want to make you aware. So with that, I know we've ran over. I don't know what time we said we were going to end.
You're not too bad.
Yeah, but I see we got a couple of chats. You need to check those. And I'm going to turn it over here to our digital friends and see if anybody's got any questions, comments, suggestions, anything.
Very random, but some of y'all may have seen James Buckner posted about it earlier. It's kind of a last minute thing, but Busky Cider is a cidery out of Richmond that is, word I've gotten is toying with looking at Danville as a possible location. They make really good stuff. The owners there, every time I've only talked to them a couple times, but very nice. They really seem to like Danville. They're doing a pop-up. Let me look at it just to make sure. Tomorrow, it's 592 Monument Street, and it is from 5 to 7:30. They're going to be selling, I believe, their ciders and stuff, but kind of just getting a gauge on what the cider market in Danville is like. But that's the one thing we don't have that I think really could benefit a lot of us. So if you're free tomorrow, 5 to 7:30, I'll be there, and some of the other people will be, at least for a little while earlier. We got some later that night, but yeah, stop by.
God, Austin, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I can't drink beer, and Austin knows this. I tell him that all the time, and I love them dearly. I need cider. So if you don't go for any other reason to support them, please go so I can have cider in Danville. For many, many other reasons too. Anything else, Austin? Thank you for mentioning that.
No, yeah, because I will just so I try and tell everybody this when this conversation comes up, because we get asked a lot if we can make cider or wine. The answer is no, because we are prohibited with the type of ABC license we have. We can only manufacture beer. Now, like Two Witches, they have a farm winery and brewery license where they are able to do the wine. That's the difference. We don't grow grapes or really have a means to do so. So similar with cider, it's a completely different license. And a lot of people do cider because it is gluten-free. Our facility is so contaminated with gluten, you'll never get it all out of here. So to try and do cider in the same building is not good. So this would be just something different, something that I think would be really cool and a good addition.
I think it speaks volumes that you are helping to promote this cidery that is looking to come here. And that, I love that. I think people get scared sometimes that if there's more businesses, that's more competition and it's, I'm going to lose out somehow. But I swear to you, the more businesses we have come in, the more people are going to come in. Because do you really eat at the same exact restaurant every single day? Nobody does that well. Not many people do that. And so it's the same thing. So I love that attitude, Austin. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Do we have anybody, Shakori or Shawnee or Kelly or Lauren, you guys want to pipe in before we turn it to the table and get y'all out of here? And we're also willing to take suggestions. If there's something about this format that does not work for you, if there's something you think would be more friendly or more fun, send us a message, let us know. Again, it's messy when you're first getting things started. We went a little bit long. There's so many great things to talk about though, but we're always open for suggestions. So anybody here, any last thoughts, final words, something that sparked a thought or anything?
I would just let them know that you're hosting all of the Main Street managers. So in Cheryl's point about having extended hours,
oh my gosh,
be an opportunity to even attract more businesses.
You just triggered a couple of things for me. I'm sorry.
For
for those of you that are not aware, there is an amphitheater outside of Danville that is going to be bringing tens of thousands of people into 3-day shows of all kinds. There's Christian music, there's a rock festival, there's country. They're really trying to be open and cater to all types of music lovers. I mean, this is a big deal. We're talking 30 to 35,000 people that are camping. I mean, if you've got a house to rent out, let me tell you, right now is the time. People are begging for a place to stay to come to this concert. Now, while most people who come to festivals, they stay on site. I mean, I'm one of those people, I've done that, but not everybody will. And not everybody's gonna camp. So, I think we need to all stay very aware of when these are going on, because I think you're gonna see a giant influx of business. I can tell you all the hotels will be booked and a lot of people will be renting out rooms. I've seen people renting out their yards for people to camp in. And so just be aware and prepared. And then to Kelvin's point, I was able to secure an event in February. It's small but significant. All of the Main Street directors, accredited Main Streets, just like myself, all of me in the 30 communities through Virginia come together once a year And they're going to come to Danville in February of 22. It'll be our first time together for years. And so they're so impressed by everything happening here. They're excited. One of the requirements is you have to have a downtown hotel in order to host that particular conference. And now we have the B. And so I'm super excited to show off all you guys. I love you so much. I can't wait for everybody to be able to come and see all the wonderful things that are happening here. So I'm excited. I'll keep you posted too, because I'll be visiting many of your businesses. So additional.
Are there any plans for another mixer? I know we had them when I first opened our bid. I think that's where me and Cheryl
Yeah.
first met and got to meet a lot of the other business owners in the River District. And it was just a great opportunity to informally have some, get to know each other.
Yeah, we know each other. This is supposed to kind of replace that. And it's tough because this is more like a meeting. But the mixer, I don't know that we were sharing as much information. And so for now, I think we're going to do this, but I am not opposed to bringing back like a quarterly evening type event. Not opposed to it at all.
I second that. I think we need that.
Yeah.
I think that has a whole different purpose as far as that cohesive spirit of the businesses in the area working together.
I agree. And I really, for myself, love the fact that we went to a different one of y'all's businesses every time, because so one of you just said it, you're working. So you don't always have time to come into your business and see what your business looks like and meet you. And so that offered the opportunity to do
I'm
so.
willing to have my back room open to, as long as I have like a month's notice, I can do it. And at night,
Okay.
something after we all close, after 7,
I
that
think
would
the
be
last
ideal.
one was
Okay.
distillery because I won the moonshine.
Yep.
I didn't get to go to that one.
Yep.
That's
Science Center will open its
Well,
doors.
okay.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we'll put that back on the list. I've got no problem having a wine and cheese event. You're talking to the right girl right here, or cider, or beer, whatever we need to do. But yeah, we'll put that back on the agenda too.
And
Thank you for bringing it up.
this is kind of related. We're planning to do this event every month, but we were planning in December to have more of what you just said, more of a holiday.
Yeah, but we'll do better.
I'm not saying, oh no, absolutely. I'm just saying, we also were gonna do that. So
See how she ended up with another event all of a sudden, just like that?
that's fine. I'm good with wine and cheese too.
All right, anything else for the good of the order? Make sure you give us feedback. We want feedback. I know this is, again, it's messy, but I hope y'all that joined us virtually enjoyed it. I hope it worked for you guys.
Hey, Diana,
Yes.
real quick, for any of the organizations that are in attendance today, I'm not sure if anyone has a need for any face masks. But if you do, I know where you can get some. FEMA was kind enough to donate a large amount of hand sanitizer and masks. And unfortunately, what we thought were initially a delivery of 30,000 masks has turned out to be closer to 300,000 masks.
Wow.
So we have a large quantity left over. So if any of you need masks for, if you're thinking about going back to wearing masks in the fall and the winter months because of the new variants, or due to cold and flu season, things of that nature. And I'm not sure if Shawnee is here yet. She's not showing up on my sidebar, but if any of you have a need for masks, they are 500 per case, and inside those cases they are packaged 5 per bag, so they are sanitary. If you have churches that you attend that would like to pass these out for, back to school events or things of that nature, please let me know. I would love for you to have some of these masks. I would love for you to have a lot of these masks.
To clarify, Kelly, these are complimentary. You don't have to pay for these. And the same thing with the sanitizer,
Yes.
if I'm correct, it comes in gallons, right?
The sanitizer at this point, we had 8 55-gallon barrels that Diana was gracious enough to help us hand pump into jugs Friday before last, and Austin and Ballard have been kind enough to house these items for us, but the time has come for us to get these things out of Austin's space and into your space. Currently, we are down to less than 100 jugs of sanitizer. I'll be doing a distribution on Tuesday for the remaining nonprofits who are interested in picking up some hand sanitizer. So I'm not sure if we're going to have any of that available, but we will have masks. There's enough, as I think Diana did the math on this, there's enough right now for every man, woman, and child in the city of Danville to have 10 masks. So,
Kelly, how do they get a hold of you if they want some of these boxes of masks?
Okay, so I am currently on vacation. I have my away message set, but it's lies. I will actually be monitoring emails. So if you were interested in a box or several mini boxes, please reach out via email, and that is KELLIE at Dan River Nonprofits with an S.org. I probably will not respond to your email in a timely manner. I'm again on vacation, but confirmations will be sent out on Monday once I get back to the office and things start getting back to normal. But right now, there's no real cap. The only thing that we ask is that these be distributed in the community and that they are not to be sold. The individual baggies do have information from the Department of Health and Human Services. So this is not going to be tracked by FEMA, but these are not to be sold. These are to be given out to local organizations, churches, nonprofits, things of that nature, and even businesses. If you're having holiday events and you feel that your patrons might need masks, if we wind up going back to having a mask mandate, you could have some in your office, in your back room, in your car, in your attic, anywhere seriously, we have 7 pallets stacked 5 or 6 feet tall left of these. So please, we would love to share a lot. So,
Kelly,
again,
another future ahead of you.
That's Kelly at danrivernonprofits.org. And if you are interested, I'll get back with you sometime on Monday. Leave your contact name and organization and a phone number, because sometimes phone calls are quicker than emails. So anyway, thank you. I appreciate you letting me plug that, and we will talk to you guys later.
That's great. And if for any reason you didn't catch Kelly's email, you can email me and I'll connect you. Yes.
I had one other thought. I know Peanut and I both have like sections in our shops that have other business information, rack cards and such. If anybody has any other rack card information, I just created a little section in my back room too. That's a good way. I mean, I assume it's okay to bring more to you too. Business cards or rack cards or anything like that. If you have business cards or rack cards, it's better to go ahead and bring the holder that goes to it, because it gets more attention if it's standing up and looks pretty instead of laying down on a table. And I have plenty of new ones I just got out, so I would love to bring them to you if you're welcome. And I will also pick yours up and bring them back to my shop, or if you want somebody to go to Peanut, I'm willing to transport too. So part of playing together nicely.
Thank you. That's lovely. Yeah, and we'll take rack cards if you've got them too.
I got a quick plug for Smokestack. We do have a kids show coming up end of the month. We've got 4 different shows, Thursday through Saturday, July 29th through August 1st. That's our kids, about 16, 17 local youth putting on a show called The Entire American Revolution in 40 minutes or less. So it's a cute little show, and hopefully those people will go out to eat and shop during that time.
Yeah,
That'll be at the Danville Museum of Fine Arts and History. Tickets are on Eventbrite.
Nice, awesome. Anybody else got something they want to promote? Last chance, going once, going twice. All right, she's sold for another cup of coffee. Thank you guys all for joining us this morning. And in the future, we'll make sure that we schedule an hour and a half so that we get done on time. And again, send us any feedback. Thank you for being here this morning. And if there's anything that we can do for you, just let us know. All right, guys. Thank you. Justin, do you have any red cards? In a gallon. Now you have to use it to fill other containers.
Oh, that's cool.